Milling them. Hello, hello. Hi, Cindy. How are you tonight? We're about to get started. Just giving it a minute or two to see if anybody else wants to join us. If you're there, you should say hi so I can see that comments are working properly. Hi, Michelle. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We are not going to make a bug card, although I know I gave that impression. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Cheryl. Okay, so what we're going to use tonight is, well, we're going to use some Wink of Stella at some point. We're going to use the Sassy Club Marigold Premium Dye Ink. This is really cool ink, so we're going to use that. We are going, I'm sorry, I got the hiccups. Hi, Nan. We're going to use the brand new Sweet Sentiment paper. This one is the Premium Coloring Cover Stock. This is the one that I use when I'm not going to print digital images. That we're going to use the Everyday Sentiment set, and we are going to use the Bug Off Stencil. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you know I love to play with these stencils. Hi, Patty. So we are not going to use oxides or inks. We are going to use Copics with our stencil, with our Bug Off stencil. I've already chosen the colors. This is going to be a low color video, so we're going to use C3, C1, and C00.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Patty. We're going to use B39, 37, B06, and BG15. And yes, we're going to use orange dye ink. So we're going to do a pretty colorful, bright thing today. So I'm going to go ahead and place my stencil where I want it on my paper. So it clearly, it's not, it has some pixie spray on it so that it'll stick really good. I'm gonna rub it a little bit with my espresso to make sure it's on there good. And then I'm going to use washi tape. And I already have some washi tape on my desk that I used last night, so I'm going to go ahead and use that to hold all of this down. Hi, Michelle. So I'm just preparing my paper. I want to make sure this doesn't move, so I am going to stick quite a bit. And I'm also going to stick some on the paper down here at the bottom just to make sure the paper doesn't move around at all either. So I'm just going to check, make sure everything feels sturdy and ready to go. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Michelle. Excuse me. Still have a few coughs going on from our trip. I'm going to zoom in. And then when I play with these stencils, I like to see what else is inside the design. So technically this particular design is the bug stencil because this is a beetle in here. So it's like a repeated little beetle all the way around. So it kind of gives the impression of bugs. But tonight we're going to use something else. So I've chosen a multi-liner. This one is 0.7. That way it'll give me a thick enough line to color with Copics. It's the Copic multi-liner. And what I'm going to do is choose just some sections of this stencil to draw out, and then we're going to color it. We're going to create a card out of this. So I'm going to start right here. And what I see when I look at this is I see a flower inside. Oops. You want to make sure you do that kind of slow so you don't go outside the lines. Don't press too hard. Just really light and gentle. The faster you go, the more opportunity you have to mess up, like I almost did right there. But we are still good. So I've chosen this same design all the way around. We're going to trace the whole thing all the way around. I like to see what else you can find in your stencils so that you can use your stencils over and over again for different ideas, thoughts, and designs. That way you're not tied to the same exact design all the time. And this one, I saw some potential in here for what might look like flowers or lantern-ish look. So I chose the same designs all the way around, and we're just tracing them out, and then we're going to color them with Copics. Oops, dang it. I went outside the lines, but you know what? It's okay because I can just put dots around the page, or I can put embellishments over top of it, so I'm totally fine. Not freaked out yet. It takes some practice to do this without messing up, so don't be hard on yourself. If you trace these out and your pen goes outside the lines, you do have a little bit of space before it's an oopsie. I normally do this significantly slower, but we are on a live and I don't want to keep you guys all night. Or maybe I do. So I'm just going to scoot on past. Okay, so we have now traced out the specific areas in this design that I want to showcase. So that didn't take too long. That was pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my washi tape, and this is washi tape I already used, so it comes off really easily. I am going to put it on the edge of my desk because it's not used up yet, and I'm sure that I could use it again another time. And since I've been doing a little bit of creativity over the past couple of days, I want to save my washi tape to use for later. Especially since this is the end of my road washi tape. I don't have any more of that design washi tape. So now I'm going to lift this up and show you what we have. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It kind of looks a little bit like flowers. When we color it, you'll see it come more to life. But don't be afraid to play around with your stencils. It's not exactly even. I'm a little bit further over on this side, so I'm okay with that, and we may just trim the paper just a teeny bit to make that work out right, but you can do it however you want. So I do have a little dot out here where I had colored over, so what I think I'm going to do is add that at the tip of all of these. So it looks like I purposefully put that dot on there. And look at that, all fixed and looks great. Just gives it a little bit more design, and it's super easy to do. So there we go. All resolved, no problems. So earlier I said these are the markers that I chose. So we are going to start with the B39. Then we're going to use 37, B06, and BG15. This will give us a little bit of a, like an ombre from a blue to a blue-green, which I think will be super pretty. So I'm going to start with my B39. I'm going to do probably a couple of tulip looking designs at one time, and then I will finish because I don't want it to dry up too much. So you don't have to touch the paper really thick, just barely touching with the tip of your marker. It's better if you hold the marker upright, but that makes it hard for you guys to see. So just be patient with me. I'm doing the best I can. I'm not going to put any of this color in this two centerpieces. I'm just going to put it in this outside. I just want it to be a little bit darker around the edges. So I'm just going to, still doing brush strokes just like we normally would do with Copics. And then I'm going to switch to my B37. And I'm going to blend out a bit from where I put that last color. Just a little bit. And this time, once I have those in there, I'm going to do a little bit in these little ones, trying to keep that color even so that it just all kind of flows really nicely. I know I'm doing this upside down. You can do it whichever way works for you, but tonight I was feeling like doing it closer to me is I just have better control that way tonight. Sometimes it's away from me, sometimes it's towards me. It just depends on how I'm feeling at that moment. I'm using the tip of the marker and I'm just lightly brushing the paper. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Now I'm going to switch to the B06. Hi, Christine. The B06 is a brighter blue. It's going to be super pretty. This one won't take long because we're not using a lot of it, but we are going to use it here in the center as well. We're going to do it on this one. So now you're going to start seeing what this looks like colored up. It's super awesome. It leaves me a big space in the center to put a sentiment, so I really like it. Hey, Mom. Since you're just jumping on, you know what stencil we used for this? BG15. You probably do if you read the details in the description. I'm doing a little bit of a back and forth because this is a change in color family and I want that to blend really well. So I'm doing a little bit of back and forth so I can get that good blend. Working out pretty good. This could give you some really good practice on small brush strokes staying within the lines. If you went outside the lines, which is a possibility for me today because these are very tiny little squares to color, but if you went outside the lines, you could totally use a white gel pen to cover it up or bling or whatever you want. There's always a way, no mistakes, just happy accidents that you can fix however you want. This is very meditative, and that's what I love about it. It gives me different designs, and it just is peaceful for me. I just like it. I love that this paper doesn't bleed out, so it's really, really good. It works great for this. I'm leaving the little in-between pieces alone for now. Now we're going to go back to B39, and this time, now that you see what pattern we're doing, I'm probably going to try to do 3 this time, then we'll do the last 3. Excuse me. Okay, so starting here, this isn't taking too long, it's pretty quick, but we are going to make this into a full card. When we get done, it will be not a boy card, but card that I need, that I need to send out, so I figured this would be perfect. And no one will ever know I used the Bug Off Stencil for this. No one will know it started out as a bug. I really like this stencil. It's so different and it looks super cool when you do it with oxides too, which we could definitely do on another night, but for tonight I wanted to do something a little bit different. You guys know me. Those who watch me know that I just really love using these stencils in a different way, so I wanted to just play around with this and see how it would look. If you're not sure what it'll come out as, or if you're not sure if you'll like it or not, you can totally test it out on just like tracing out the images on just copy paper, and then seeing what you like, add another, you know, design to it to see what you think, and just play around with your stencils. And you could do this with any stencil. It doesn't have to be the Bug Off stencil. It can be any stencil. I've done a few more lives with several other stencils that you guys can certainly find the videos on YouTube, so the old videos of our other stencils. But so feel free to check those out. I love doing this. I think it ends up being so pretty. Ooh, this marker lid cap doesn't want to go on. That, I guess it doesn't go on that end. B06 is next. Ooh, you guys are quiet tonight. Quiet, quiet. So, crazy story. You guys want to hear a story while we're doing this? Because we're just following the same pattern that we did on the other ones. So I went out and ran and met up with a friend today and did lunch. And when I got home, I saw that my hubby was moving branches and stuff to the curb, and I was like, I wonder what he's doing. We didn't have any yard work coming up. So I took him a bottle of water out front when I came in, and a large portion of our tree in the front yard broke and fell into our yard. Thank goodness it didn't fall on our house, but it was a big tree and there's a large section of it gone now. So it's kind of sad and a lot of work, and it's like 100, between 101 and 103 here, so not an easy job for him. He was having to come in every like 20 minutes or so because it was just so daggum hot out there trying to cut up that tree. So that's what happened to us today. Lost half of our tree. So sad. And it was shadowing the house, so that's disappointing too. It was keeping the house cool. Now it's not going to be as cool. But it happens. Better than landing on our house, which would have been really bad. definitely too hot to work out there. Way too hot. But it literally was blocking the front door. So, you know. He came in. He would spend about 20 minutes out there, and then he would come in and cool off, and then go back out there for another 20 minutes, and then come in and cool off. And clearly it's not done because it didn't happen till this evening. So our front yard is kind of a mess right now. But this is turning out really pretty. I like it. I hope you guys like it too. It looks like flowers, doesn't it? Like tulips to me. Also, more news on the front. My grandbaby starts kindergarten tomorrow. Where has the time gone? I can't believe it. First day of school for that little fella. All right, we got 3 more. Yeah, it's a bummer, huh? It was a big chunk of the tree too. It's really sad. All right, we got 3 more. Let's see if we can do this without going outside the lines. Ha ha ha. We can do it. Seems to be pretty easy. I'm not really struggling with any issues on doing this. It's pretty easy. As long as you're using the tip of the marker, you should be good. It is so sad. They do grow up so fast. He's a little nervous, but I'm sure he will be totally fine. He will learn so much. I know, me too, Mom. I can't believe it. But yep, he's ready. Ready to go to kindergarten. He's a little confused. He said, I'm turning 6 tomorrow. I don't know why he thinks going to kindergarten means he's 6, but he said, I'm turning 6 tomorrow because I'm going to school. Oh, little ones are so cute. I did get to talk to him tonight. He's excited but nervous. This is B37 that I'm using right now. Our Copic marker stand, blend stand, is what I have my markers in. That helps you keep up with which marker I'm on. I know, right? Right, Cheryl? It's super handy. So make sure that while you're watching, if you're curious on which color I'm on and I haven't mentioned it, you can definitely see it in the color blend stand. So I put the caps in there so I know which end they came off of, so I can put them back on the same end. I know, bless his little heart. She was trying to explain to him, no, you're not 6 yet. You're just going to kindergarten. Oh, they're just so cute. They say the funniest stuff. The other day when we went to my nephew's wedding, he said, I don't want to get married. And my daughter said, well, why not? And he said, because you have to kiss and that's gross. There we go. We're getting there. Almost there. Almost there. Are you guys itching to see what else we're going to do with this card? It's going to be so much fun. I am excited. Hi, Pam. So anyone who's jumping on, this is the Bug Off Stencil that we have in the shop, but we just used a multi-liner to trace out a small portion of it so that we could see a different design using the same stencil that has beetles on it. We have beetles and now we have flowers, which are super cute. They come up with so many funny things. I know they do, and it just makes you so happy. It definitely warms your heart, makes you super happy. And then it's just great when they talk to you on the phone too. They're so cute. You like the colors I'm using? They blended really well. I tested them out before the live just to make sure it was a color that I really wanted it to be, and it is not disappointing me at all. You know, I like that one wow color added in there to just mix it up a bit. And that's what made me decide to use the BG on the end, because it really just makes the whole thing pop. And I like it. So now I'm done with all the blues. So I'm going to take them out of my Copic holder. And now we're going to work with the C's. And we can do this next process pretty quick because it's just gray. I just want to get that gray base on there. So I'm using the C3 just to make it a little bit darker. I'll probably do half of them. These are much smaller, a little bit easier to do, so we'll come back and do the other half in a minute. Then I'm going to switch to C1. I'm going to go back over here and I'm just going to extend out from where I stopped with the C3, but not all the way to the end because we have one more color. I think my hubby is watching YouTube videos because I can hear them. Hopefully you guys can't hear them. I want to go up just a little further on that one. But I like this base undercoat for the step that we're going to do next. It really just makes the next step pop really well. So you could go without doing this since it really is just a gray. But I like it better with it in there. C00 is the last one. And this time I'm going to go from the top into the color, so that I can keep that gradient really well. And this process was pretty fast. I'm liking this new paper that we have a lot. If you guys haven't tried it, you should try it. And we have it in 8.5 by 11 in the shop. But we also have it in A2 size, so you can for sure test it out. And it's $5.99, so it's not bad at all. The price is a little less than that it used to be with the old paper. So it's super great. Hi, Mickey. How are you? Okay, C1, we're going to pull from the C3 that we put in there. So we're just going to extend out from the C3 we put in there, leaving a little bit on the edge, just like we did with the first 4 that we did. This just changes the whole, like the blue was so pretty by itself, but this just really makes it stand out even more. You can choose any colors you want. But I have a reason why I chose the orange, so I will definitely be sharing that here in just a little bit when we get to that point. C00 is the last one. I'm going to go over here, and again I'm going to go from the opposite end into where I have the other gray stopped, just to keep that gradient. Here we go. All right. Had a great time at breakfast. I wish I could have been there too. I was on the phone momentarily, but I wish I could have been there too. Okay, so I said earlier that we were going to use the Wink of Stella. I think we're going to wait. We're going to do the next step first, and then we'll do the Wink of Stella. So I need to grab my Misty, because we're going to stamp in the center of this using the Everyday Sentiments. And there's a reason why I didn't center this, because I have plans for this area down here. And you'll see, we'll get to all of that, no problem. Okay, so I have my Everyday Sentiments, which are these. So there's so many to choose from, but I'm going to use the Best Wishes today because I think it's going to fit perfectly inside the center of this. Yep, it is. I'm going to scoot it over just a tad, make sure it's straight, and I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to stamp it with the Sassy Club dye ink, premium dye ink. I don't really have any colors. I just usually only use Memento, but when I got my Sassy Club planner, I thought, well, I'm going to try their ink, and I like it. It's the only colored ink I have. So I'm going to use my espresso to rub that down and make sure that that stays on there really good. I'll lift it up. So pretty. I love it. I contemplated using purple, but I always use purple on my lives, so I thought I would branch out and use something just a little bit different. I think this ink does dye your stamps just a little bit, but I'm okay with that because that means they're well loved and used, and that makes me happy. So all right, so there's our, so see how you can see it has a little bit of orange on it, but I'm okay with that. I like the ink. It works really good. You can Copic color around it. It doesn't bleed. So it's another one other than Memento that you can use with your stamps when you want to color. They also have a black, which is really nice. So there's that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is I think I'm going to trim this side just a teeny bit because it's not centered exactly the way that I want it. And there's no problem with just trimming just a teeny bit off the edge to make it perfectly fit in there, which is great. I chose this color background paper because I felt like it really brings out the blue in the design. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my paper. So I'm going to use my Barely Art glue because woohoo, Barely Art glue is the best. Love it. Looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm really not. Less is more with this stuff. I'm going to stand up so I get it centered perfectly, hopefully. Fairly Art glue gives you a little bit of time to move it around should you not get it centered the way you want it at first. Mine worked out really good, so I'm going to use my espresso to spread that glue out, make sure I get even distribution on it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Wink of Stella before we finish it into another card. And normally I use my gel pen, but for this I thought it would go faster if I just use this clear. It's clear Wink of Stella and has quite a bit of shine to it, if you can kind of see that. Hi Rosemary. So what I want to do is I just want to put this over top of this gray area that I colored. Now you saw it on here, it's like completely clear, but when you put it on this gray, it really helps for it to come to life, I think. So I like it on top of the gray. I get so impatient with these Wink of Stellas, which is why I don't use them very often. So I get impatient and then I want to squeeze them, and then it goes out everywhere and makes a mess and ruins my card. So I don't use Wink of Stella very often just because I'm impatient, but it's not Wink of Stella's fault, it's mine. So this is going to give it just a little bit of shimmer and shine, which I like. You know, I like bling. I like everything blinged up. And this is really, really pretty. You love Wink of Stella? Yeah. I only use the clear one. I don't have any of the other colors. I'm just happy with the clear. And so you can tell if we put this over any color, it's just going to sparkle up that color. So we could put it over the petals, but I like it just being over the gray. But that would be a you choice. You could decide what you want to do. Now I did put the background on here, but I am going to do something else before I put it actually onto the card. So that's why I didn't put it onto the card base before I did this part. There we go. Now, isn't that pretty? I also think the only one you use too. I also think I'm going to put a little bit on this little heart just so you can see how it just makes whatever color you have sparkle. It's not about, see, it changes. I mean, it's clear, so it goes over top of everything that you put it on, but it doesn't change the color of it. So I think that's just enough bling. When you put it over a color like that, you want to just wipe it so you get that color taken off the tip so you don't carry it on to the next project that you do. So just remember to do that. And then I was thinking I would use ribbon and a bow, which I know is not normally me, but I have these bows that Jamie made that you can get in the shop. They have, you know, mixed colors, and I want to use them because I never use bows. So I thought I would use the white one. So I searched through my stuff to see if I had white ribbon that's made the same way, and I did. So I was like, perfect, which is why I could use orange. I don't know. We can look at both of them and see what you guys think, but I also have purple, but purple's not the right color right now, but orange, we could use orange too. I was afraid the orange might be too much. I have the orange in gross grain and I have the white. The orange might actually be perfect, but I chose a gray card base like that, so I think I am gonna switch to the orange. So I just so happen to have this same gross grain ribbon, and I want to put it like, I want to crisscross it, so I wanted to be able to put it back here on the back. I have a glue dot on there. I'm going to put another one because I want to make sure it stays. You like it? 2 days in a row for bows. I know, right? You like the orange? Good. Because the orange, I think, is what color I want to make it. And I kind of want to crisscross it a little bit. I mean, I'm not used to doing this, so you guys, you know, no judgment here. I am not good at this, nor do I do it very often, but I think maybe something like this. So let's stick that one side down. And then I'm going to cut this and glue this side down. And then we're going to put it on the card. So I wanted that ribbon to be hidden. So that's why I went ahead and did it like that. Let's grab some glue dots. I think I will grab them with my tweezers, put them on my ribbon. I'll make sure it's tight enough. Yay! It worked! It worked! It worked! And I think, because, you know, I don't do this very often, I really want it to be wider on this side so I can put the ribbon right here. So I think I'm going to put another glue dot like up underneath here. One on the ribbon so it stays still. The original ribbon under there, and then one on the one on top I think will be helpful. I don't know if that's necessarily necessary, but you know, since I don't normally do this, I want to make sure I don't mess anything up. Bows are not your thing. Me either. That's why I like these ones in the shop where Jamie already did them all for me. She already tied all the bows and made kits for in the shop, which is so great for me because I told her that was the only way she was going to get me to put a bow on a card. So last night she was really surprised. Tonight she'll be even more surprised when she finds out that I used it once again. I'm going to put, I know, bows. I'm going to put one on the back of this just because I want it to hold still.
What set is the best wishes from?
The best wishes is from the Everyday Sentiment set that we have in the shop. I'll show it to you in just a minute. It's got a lot of really good sentiments in it. I love it. It hasn't been out very long. It's only been out like maybe a month and a half, 2 months. It looks like this. It's called Everyday Sentiments. I have the best wishes, but so many good sentiments on that set for sure. Okay. We're going to put this bow right here. I put some of the glue dots on the top of these top ones just to keep them, you know, where I wanted them. So now that I have this on here, I can actually pop up the back when I put it on the card. So that's kind of why I did the ribbon on this part, and then I make you love stencils even more. Stencils, oh man, stencils are my thing. I love stencils too. They make me super happy. Huh?
This month's release will be a good stencil.
Yeah, there's going to be another super cool stencil coming out on the next release too. So keep your eyes peeled because that's going to be coming up. Okay, I definitely need a piece of paper to put on the inside of my card so I can write in it without having any trouble. So I already have them cut up. I keep them on my desk that way so that I don't have to take the time to cut them, because I always put white on the inside. Just, you know, no sneak peek. Jamie will not be happy with me. No sneak peek. Although, I'm not gonna lie, this next release, it's pretty epic. It's all me. This next release, except for the sentiments that Jamie did. You know how she always puts sentiments on my stamp sets? Those are her. She's the one who always comes up with our snarky little sentiments. But other than that, all the artwork will be me. So I'm super stoked about it, and I hope you guys like it. I definitely want to hear what you think. Okay, so there we go. I signed the back of my card. I put my white paper on the inside, and now we're going to attach this on the top with, and I'm still trying to use up this. Normally I would use Sweet Pops, but I'm really trying to use up this this bit of foam tape stuff that I have, because I don't really use it and I don't want it sitting in my craft room anymore. So third weekend in August, whatever the third weekend is. The new release is always the third weekend of the month, and let me tell you, you might want to put that on your calendar because you are not going to want to miss it. I think especially
I got a sneak peek for Amanda.
Amanda, Dale says this is your sneak peek. it's Mylar. When is this? When is the third? What? 17th, I think. The third weekend. Oh man, I think I'm gonna do some sneak peeks on Facebook before, like the week before. Or a couple days before, because I need to get you guys pumped up, because you are not going to want to miss that on this. I am so excited about it. It's a little bit different than my normal style. Still, yet, you'll know it's mine. But, yeah, I'm super stoked.
How many stencils are coming out? Just one?
How many stencils are coming out? Well, there'll be 2 Mylars used, if that's helpful at all. Always 1 stencil, but sometimes it's more than 1 layer, but sometimes it's not, so you never know. Get to cutting those cowboy stencils for Arizona. Oh, you mean the Mesa Verde? Yeah, that's true. You're right. But we have Schaumburg before Mesa, so well, I think I need 1 more piece in here. I'm afraid this is going to dip down if I don't put something there. So just pardon me for 1 moment while I add another little piece. Now, this is not as forgiving. This is not as forgiving as Barely Art glue, so we got to get it right the first time. There we go. Perfect. Isn't this cute? I need to send a wedding. Oh, you love the stamps and Dale's. Oh, you're gonna love this release then. This, I have to send this wedding card. So okay, I have here some gems from the ton. A little bit different than the ones I did last night. When do we hit the road again? August 16th. August 16th we hit the road again, and we have 2 shows back to back. So Schaumburg and Edison. So we'll be busy for a little bit, and then we get a break again. So no more 3 weeks back to back. We're done with that. So I'm going to use these stones because I feel like it just needs a little something. So I'm just going to put a couple of them on here. it doesn't really need anything, but I thought it would be fun to do it because I really like these gemstones. They're all different sizes, so I have to be careful on, I picked that one up upside down. So, but they're clear. So the cool part about it is the Barely Art glue will dry invisible and you won't be able to see the Barely Art glue through it. So I love that. I think I'm going to use this smaller one for up here. And then maybe another medium-ish one. I don't think we need a whole lot of this on of the bling on there, but I think I might put 2 more just because, you know, just because I feel like it. I put 3 down at the bottom, and then I think I'll put 2 up here, probably like here and maybe here. I'll probably put a little one. Well, let's do a bigger one up here. And then a tiny one. I need to find a tiny one. There we go. They're a little bit hard to see which side is the flat side and which side is not. Yeah, thank goodness. No more 3 back to back. That was, we've decided that was too much. We cannot, it was a little overboard for us. So we're not going to do any more 3 back to back because we miss you guys. We both got sick. So yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. If we can at all help it. Okay. So here we go. You're a blinger too? I like bling and it's super cute. But look, this is what it looks like. So they're clear, but they're very faceted and they're sparkly and shiny, and when the glue dries it'll be even shinier. But we have our Wink of Stella on there. Isn't that awesome? And look, we made that. Yes, I'm using this for a wedding card. I am. Best wishes. I'm going to put the gift card inside. And we actually made this out of this bug stencil. So you look at the bug stencil and you don't necessarily see this design right off the bat. But that's why you play around with all the different sections that you could do, because you could do just these around the outside if you needed like a bigger circle and you wanted to put something larger on the inside. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with this. So play around with your stencil. Use it, get the most out of it. We used these sentiments. We used best wishes down here, and we used this bug stencil to get what looks like flowers. Isn't that beautiful? Hi, Barb. Hi, Gayla. So recap for one more time. We used the Bug Off Stencil. I know it doesn't look like the Bug Off, but we chose to trace out sections of it and it gave us this flower look. And then we stamped this sentiment in the center and used our bows from the shop and created this wedding card. So this is going to be a card that's going to go to someone for their wedding. And so we popped it up after we put the ribbon on it. So the ribbon is hidden. I love that. I stamped the back with my signature and there you go. So thank you so much for joining me. I will be back tomorrow night. I'm always live when we're in town on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you'll have me tomorrow night again at 9:30 Central. We'll do something else. I don't know what. I haven't decided yet. But we'll do another something, coloring or making a card or playing with inks or something. I got, you know what, I got a bunch of this stuff and I haven't tried it yet. Have you ever seen it? Isn't this it looks like hair gel with glitter in it to me. But it's called Glitter Glaze. We might have to play with some of this. If we don't do it this week, we're going to have to do it next week because this is super cool. I also got, so yeah, I've been doing a little shopping too. I can't help myself. This one is called Candy Coating. There's a pearl and a purple, and look, it's got like chunks of stuff in it. You can't really see it when you look at it, but I've seen it used and it's kind of chunky, if this is the one I remember. But I thought I'd try it out and see what I thought. Maybe we could play with some of these. So we'll either do that tomorrow or we'll do it next week, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested in playing with glitter paste and such. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was super fun. I love how this came out. I am certainly using it for something in particular, so I'm very happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys liked it. Thanks for joining me. Play with your bug stencil. If you don't have it, it's in the shop. Go check it out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Good night.